Ishmel, remember what we were talking about last weekend? Well, it happened.
No way! The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man came and read you a bedtime story just like you wanted?
I wish. No, the other thing.
Oh, really? Are you serious?
Totally serious. The aliens have landed, and they're here to take over the whole planet. Ishmel, you gotta get here.
Well, hold down the fort, Rufus. I'll be right there.
Ta-ta! Lunch is served. How very cheeky of you, Harlon Merle. Go over there and help Miss Ruby pull out her chair. You don't expect a woman to do a menial task like that now, do you?
Alright, but I'll tell you, Miss Ruby sure seems capable with these pretty little hands of hers of pulling out her own chair. Or I could just sit here and Miss Ruby could sit on my lap.
Get up, you balmy tosh! Men do not sit on that side of the table, especially not on Thursday afternoons before 3 p.m. How do you expect to learn anything if you act as if you grew up in a swamp full of scaly critters and a grandmother who would yell at the police for being too loud?
Good old grandma, standing on the front porch in her flip-flops and pink tube top with a cigarette hanging out of her mouth, giving the po-po the what for.
And why are you laughing, Ruby? Your total lack of diplomacy is what landed you here at Luna May's British School for the Refinement of Lost Causes.
Shut up, Luna May. I'm only here because you offered a free lunch and I didn't have to cook. Who knows why Harlon Merle is here? It's not because he's smart enough to go to school.
That is not how you obtain silence from others. You don't say, shut up.
Well then, what does one exactly say, my highness?
Shut your gob. And if that doesn't work, one can be like the Queen and simply order silence!
Okay, Hutch. I'm thinking long and hard about this, and you may be right. I think I might need a job.
Admitting you have a problem is the first step, Macon. Like my grandpappy used to say, give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach him to fish, you give him a job for life. Or something like that.
For life? Sounds like a prison sentence.
Exactly. Actually, that is one option. 3 squares a day, hour recess, roof over your head, company provide uniform. But let's focus on something a little bit less premeditated.
But Hutch, I don't know how to get a job. I need help. You help me?
Step 3 already. We're making progress. First step is, gotta dress the part. As my grandpappy used to say, dress for the job you want, not the job you have. Since you have no job, we're gonna have to start from scratch. I got this at the smaller dollar. He called out to me loudly. But it's better than a prison outfit. Just for wearing a dress, sounds like my grandpappy used to say, a man's got to do what a man's got to do.
Hutch, it's beautiful. It's amazing. It's perfect.
Yes, I know. But it did come from the smaller dollar, so it does need to be washed first.
Did you see how Rufus screamed and ran when he saw our little alien? Yeah, that was a brilliant idea of you. Let's start setting up our second prank before he gets in here.
We've been having the dinosaurs destroy the kitchen since we were 8 years old, and he still thinks it's real. Do you think he'll ever catch on? Rufus is a grown-up married man now, Beulah, and he still thinks the dinosaurs are real. Pretty sure he'll be clueless like that for the rest of his life, which means we can keep pranking him. Yes!
All right, Rufus, where are they?
They must have some cloaking technology, because I can't find them nowhere. If I saw him outside the window, though, he was tall as this house. And he was green, pure green, Ishmel. Like this face right here.
Well, obviously they molt. There's only one way to defeat creatures like this. It's with science.
But I don't know nothing about science, Ishmel.
That's all right. I do. I know all there is to know.
Ishmel, this has to work. Otherwise, planet Earth will be ruled by freaks from planet Zero, here to melt our faces and make us go to school.
We can't have that now, can we? Come on, help me get these supplies ready.
Plates and 8 glasses, Luna May. I thought this was just a simple lunch.
This is a simple lunch, British style. You, Harlon Merle, are going to learn about the proper and courteous courtship, and you are going to work on your diplomacy. Are you two having a laugh?
That's rich, Miss Luna May. You are going to teach us about courtship and diplomacy. I can't wait to tell the guys about this one. It's going to be great.
You tell them. You tell them all, Harlon Merle. In my book, they could all use a touch of refinement. In fact, they could use buckets of refinement.
I think you've underestimated this amount, Luna May. Exactly what are we having for lunch?
You are being treated to a proper 12-course English Victorian, Edwardian Georgian, high lunch dinner, 11 C's tea.
That sounds like it could take a while. Miss Ruby, perhaps you'd be more comfortable sitting on my lap.
Rule number 1, Harlon Merle. Gentlemen, do not invite ladies to sit on their laps, especially at the table.
How else am I supposed to communicate that I think she's sweeter than a possum chewing on a hunk of sweet tater?
How very vulgar. Gentlemen, do not just jump right in like that. Talk about something innocuous first, like the weather or fuzzy baby ducklings.
Like my grandpappy used to say, there's a tree stump in a Louisiana swamp with a higher IQ. Macon, you know there's a laundromat down the road a piece, right?
I only see women going in there. I thought that's where they wash the dishes.
Not exactly.
Things have been so confusing since Luna May drop-kicked me for trying to steal her bubble sweet sandwich.
Step 5. That's still making progress. Now we just need to work on your interview skills. All right, Rufus. First thing we gotta do is make some transportation. Surely those aliens have a flying saucer. So look, we got all we need here to make transportation.
You know how to make a flying saucer, Ishmel?
Sure, all you need is this here CD, some glue, and balloons. Watch, let's put it together.
Good Lord.
There they go again. We best get ready to patch them up, Aldine.
Why don't they remember that the last time they were in a battle that they lost it? I mean, they missed a whole week of work because they hurt themselves so badly.
What was it they thought they was fighting again?
Garden gnomes.
Yeah, that's right. They were so convinced those garden gnomes had turned into these giant bridge trolls, and they were just gonna blow them up with some cayenne pepper and oil of skunk. Rufus had to sleep outside for like a week.
After I've got enough to set them straight on this alien invasion, why don't you just tell Rufus that it was his sisters pranking him?
I just can't bear it. Look at how happy he is with Ishmel playing with all their toys together.
Those aliens don't stand a chance.
I suppose that's true. I guess it's alright that they just use their heads to keep the rain out of their necks.
I wonder, are you feeling peckish yet? Never fear, the first course is served.
Did you spend all day making this?
Good question. I wonder if she managed to hurt her back bending over backwards while making this bread.
While I am usually the first to applaud grand expressions of sarcasm, I must tell you that it is utterly improper at a proper British table. Now, the correct thing to say is, thank you, hostess dear, for this lovely breakfast course.
Oh, well, if I had known that the first course involved Chuck and Harlon Merle, I would have come over to help you cook, Luna May. Thank you, hostess dear, for this lovely breakfast course.
Dang it, Luna May. If you don't let me out of this, I may have to start to practice the art of non-resistance. Is this really what you eat for breakfast over there?
A bit of dry bread is delicious as the bee's knees.
Don't tell me y'all eat insects too.
That is enough to cause some chunder. Are you daft or something?
I thought you were supposed to be teaching me how to be diplomatic or something.
Oh yes, that's right. I must remember to lead by example. I simply should have asked you if you were off your trolley.
You think we could get a little butter or jam or something to go with this, Luna May?
What? Are you a barbarian or something?
Why? You like barbarians or something?
What do you think Rufus will do when he sees that all the food in the fridge has come alive? Probably scream and run into a corner like he did last time. This time we'll have to make sound effects when we see him go to the fridge. No, don't scramble my brains! No, don't slice me into tiny little pieces to wear as a fake mustache. No!
Hello? Hutch?
Welcome to your interview. Take your seat, please. Don't say Don't sit on your hands, boy. Don't say either. And don't cross your arms over your chest. Clasp your hands and put them in your lap. Sit up straight. I said sit up straight. Those are some mighty fine threads you're sporting. Where'd you get the money for that?
Hutch, you gave me these clothes.
Oh yeah, sorry. We're on interview style. I get them confused sometimes. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Tula, what would you be doing today if you didn't have to go fix the injuries that Rufus and my dad are about to cause each other?
Now there's a novel thought, Aldine. I suppose I might go down to the bookstore and sip on some coffee or even one of those fancy little cappuccinos they got and sit somewhere and read one of those big books they got that talk about all the different places in the world. That would be cool.
Yes, like the adventures of Marco Polo and Xena, where they travel to all the distant lands.
Exactly. Wouldn't it be tremendous if we could travel to all those new places, learn about the different languages and the customs, and make new friends just all over the world? Where would you want to go, Aldine?
We're gonna have to make a whole slew of weapons, Rufus, and we're gonna have to construct them ourselves.
What are you gonna make, Ishmel?
Well, first we're gonna have to make the weapons that turns everything to stone. Then we're gonna have to make the weapons that repel everything. Then we're gonna have to make explosive lava lamps and some slime bombs. And we're gonna need lots of rockets to get all these weapons up to the alien ships.
Well, I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch hovering outside, Ishmel. We need to hurry.
If I could go back in time, I'd visit ancient Egypt and see how the pyramids were built. And then I'd go to medieval Spain to see the construction of the Alhambra Palace. That would be so cool.
That would be great, Aldine. I would want to go back and see the ancient Mayan and Aztec civilizations and then go to China to see the building of the Great Wall.
Uh-oh. Guess we gotta go very much for round 2.
Yes, it's a good thing they didn't try to build the Great Wall, because it had never gotten built.
I'm pretty sure you just told us that putting jam on bread is not an acceptable thing. Barbaric, I think you said.
It is barbaric when it is before 11 a.m. on a Thursday, 2 weeks before the spring equinox. Have you learned nothing from your time here?
So what exactly is the name of this dish?
Why, it's dead man's leg, of course. Now, you two really ought to stop so much chin wagging and eat it before it gets cold. You truly are a barbarian, aren't you, Harlon Merle? One does not eat dead man's leg with their fingers. You must use the proper fork. No, not that one, the third fork from the inside.
So what would happen if I used the 5th fork from the inside?
Oh, puns. That would never happen. Now, Harlon Merle, here's a lesson for you in romance. Instead of coming on to Miss Ruby like a Mack truck, you might try a bit of gurning instead.
What the heck is gurning? As a matter of fact, what the heck have you been saying this whole time? You're like a possum in a plastic bag. I don't understand a word you're saying.
Gurning, Harlon Merle, is an ancient tradition created by my illustrious and clever-witted British ancestors. To do so, you must scrunch your face up into the tiniest, ugliest little ball so you begin to resemble a troll. Like this. See, now you try.
Macon, I think you're ready to go try out some jobs now.
But Hutch, I'm nervous. What am I supposed to do?
Nervousness will eventually go away. You just gotta muddle through it. Go forth, Grasshopper.
Hutch, you gotta get out here and help me. I'm up in a tree. No, I'm not just gonna climb down. There are cows under me. I don't care if you're on a date with Beulah. Just come out and help me.
That's Prissy's knife. Bad boyfriend.
Okay, Ishmel, I found these diapers in the cupboard. I don't know what they're for, but let's use them to get rid of some aliens. Awesome.
Ta-ta, the both of you, get up. We've got to go roll some cheese down that hill out there.
What? Why do we need to do that? Sometimes I think your brain's as scarce as his teeth, Luna May.
How about we skip the cheese rolling and Miss Ruby, you can roll over here and sit on my lap.
Have you done nothing from my efforts here all day, Harlon Merle? You really are quite goneless, aren't you? If you want to express your interest in Miss Ruby to her, offer to pour her some tea.
Tea? How is Tea supposed to let her know that I want her to roll over here and sit in my lap?
Come on now, get up outside, both of you. Come on, come on. Come on, outside. Now, we can have the next course.
You British people certainly are clever with your bread. Are we going to be having any real food today?
So, what's this called?
Well, it's the Welsh rabbit, of course. It is the traditional meal that you always eat after playing roly-poly cheese down the hill. Ta.
So, Luna May, what is the first rule of diplomacy? Feed your opponents different slices of bread and have different toppings on them and pretend they're elegant gourmet dishes?
Ha ha ha! You are so very gobby, Ruby. Everyone knows the most important rule of diplomacy is keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Closer? I like the sound of that. Miss Ruby, come on over.
Okay, Macon. I have arranged a match between you and the reigning champion of mixed martial arts, the Tanzanian Titan, Quinn Monroe. If you can beat him, you can go on the fight circuit and retire young and rich. Just imagine spending every day on the beach talking to all those ladies, or sailing, build a palace of Legos out of $1 million worth of Legos. Hey, you could buy a monster truck and make your own monster truck racing show.
You can do it, Macon. I don't know. I don't think anyone has ever beaten Quinn before. It's gonna be tough. You better concentrate hard, Macon.
Uliniambia kwamba ningekuwa napigana na mtu shujaa. Huyu anafaa kama manowari yenye mlango wa wavu.
Usijali, Quinn. Ukimpinga tumbani atabakana kama punda alitufuna nuki.
Sawa, haya mapigano hayatazidi zaidi ya dakika 2. 3 akiwa na bahati.
All right, Quinn. Guess I'll have to whoop you now.
Unaota ndoto, nitakutandika hadi utatua nyuma yangu.
I don't understand anything this guy's saying. What's going on?
This ain't a gum bumping contest, Macon. Now get in there and fight him.
Put your safety goggles back on. Safety first. That's what I always say. Alright, got your Mentos?
I got my Mentos.
Awesome. So, open up your Coca-Cola. We're gonna make this spray up and try to knock the aliens out of the sky.
I bet they're hiding behind those clouds.
Alright, so I think the key is you gotta try to get them all in really fast. Ready?
Ready.
1,
2,
2, 3. Ah! Woo! Woo! Ah! Success! Ready? Woo! Oh, Dean, be careful. That hurts.
I knew
Pick it
trying
up.
to eat that whole pack of Mentos and that whole bottle of Coke all at once was a bad idea.
I told you so. You never listen, Rufus.
No, you said to do it.
I did not.
If he told you to jump off a bridge, would you jump off the bridge?
If it stopped the aliens.
Oh.
It had a.
What'd you do to my propellant?
I think it had a pilot error.
You threw the propellant on the ground.
I didn't throw the pilot on the ground.
Doofus Rufus.
That's a good one. I see what you did there. Ishmel, you were the one who had the great idea to go try to climb the tree to see if you could jump to the alien ships.
I told you I got all the great ideas. All right, Rufus. Now here's the grand finale that's sure to get these aliens to leave the planet for good.
What is it?
All you need, it's a really super secret thing. You can't tell anybody. Promise?
Promise.
All you need is some water, this pepper. I'm gonna make you sneeze some more with pepper. And this dish soap. Now you gotta pay really close, careful attention. I'm gonna put the dish soap on my finger. You put some on your finger. Don't lick it. Don't lick it. And then I'm gonna touch. Look at that! Look at that! It made the pepper repel!
Well,
This secret weapon will make the aliens go away!
Well, slap me with some bread and call me a sandwich. I am impressed with your scientific knowledge, Ishmel.
It's time for dessert.
Let me guess. More bread.
Is it going to be bread with pickled relish or yellow mustard on it?
You two haven't the slightest sense of civility to you, do you? Pickle relish can't be served ever on a Thursday afternoon, ever. And mustard, well, that is far too strong a flavor for the British palate. It's very sensitive that the Queen banished it from the island forever. Here, now, the first dessert is called Stargazy Pie, and the second is called Toads in a Log.
Wow! Do British people always have 2 desserts?
2 desserts? Why, Miss Ruby, I'd say there's 3 scrumptious desserts at this table.
Why are there fish and frogs in my dessert?
Well, we couldn't very well serve them with Moggy, no, could we?
Maybe working for the man just isn't your cup of tea, Macon.
What am I gonna do, Hutch? I've tried and failed at everything. I'm exhausted. How can I get a job if I don't know how to do anything? Christy's not gonna be impressed by my getting treated by cows or my mechanical failure. Can you help me, Hutch? I'm totally out of ideas.
7 already? Skipping right along, are we? Maybe what you need to do, Macon, is figure out a way to work for yourself. To be your own boss.
Be my own boss? You can do that?
Yes. Yes, Macon, you can do that. It's the American dream. To be a free bird. What you need to do, Macon, is come up with something that you know. Something that you're good at. And then sell it to people.
But Hutch, we've already established that I'm not good at anything. Except getting up trees while running from cows. I might come up with something. You know, how'd you get so good at fixing stuff?
It's just what I do. I've always been a fixer. Especially in life and death situations.
Learned in our time here today?
Well, I've learned to pack my own lunch if I ever visit Britain, that's for dang sure.
Oh, bugger all! I learned that I'll get knackered from sitting through one of these long table events, and if I'm not careful, I'm gonna suffer from allergy. It's important to not catch flies, and especially not tell any porkies, because if I do, then I just might wind up having to go to the bog for a fortnight. And I learned that it's important to not be a damp squid when inviting a bird to sit on one's lap.
Your mastery of the English language over the past 5 hours is impressive indeed. I congratulate you heartily.
Is that how long we've been sitting here for? 5 hours? We must have eaten a whole loaf of bread in that time.
Yes, once the bread is finally gone, our English Victorian, Edwardian Georgian, high lunch dinner, 11's tea is over.
So have you two buffoons had enough yet? Y'all done with y'all science experiments?
Did we get them all? Did we stop the invasion?
Yeah, can't you see all their dead bodies everywhere? You even got an invisible spaceship, Dad.
Maybe you go ride in one tomorrow. I've always wanted to ride a spaceship.
You know, Aldine, you made a pretty good nurse's assistant today. You ought to look into going to some medical school. I bet you make a great doctor.
Thank you, Tula. I just might consider that.
Gotta put you in the hole. First you get your knife. Body, get the shuttle. It doesn't move.
It's moving.
Start class like that every day now.
That should be your Kia.
All right, now we're gonna make the slime bombs, one of my favorites. We're gonna take this water here, we're gonna put some of the water in this little bowl. Need about half. Now a little more. The rest of it goes in here.
All right, boys, that's a rep.